name is Tony Cortez. I was born in 1967 in Merced, California. And my parents were in the Air Force, in the military, so we ended up moving overseas when I was 3 years old. And I grew up basically in England and Japan, so which is a very odd, two different contrasting places. I really didn't come back to the States until I was about 16 or 17 years old. And coming back to the States, after living in those kind of countries, really gives you a whole new perspective. It was really strange for me to come down the street and see McDonald's signs and things like that, things I'd never seen. They did not have those back in the 80s, the places that I grew up. And growing up in those places gave me a very much different perspective on all sorts of things from politics and religion. I really consider myself to be more of a world citizen than I do of any one particular country. I definitely don't consider myself American. I grew up in England more than anywhere else, so that's kind of my leanings, my traits and things. And yes, I did lose my accent when I was 10 years old when we moved to Japan. So, when I was 12, I worked for a whole summer and saved up enough money to buy a guitar and taught myself how to play guitar. Within 6 months, I started playing in bars, and within another 2 years or so, I started being on magazines and things like that in Japan, and semi-famous kind of thing, for a 15-year-old. And I turned that into my career. Actually, I've been doing that ever since. I'm a musician now, and that was the only thing that I did for many, many years up until now. Now that I'm going back to school. It allowed me to travel the world, and I moved to the Caribbean and lived in St. Thomas, right next to Puerto Rico. And I lived in Alaska, Fairbanks, Alaska, and I've been on Germany, Paris, all sorts of places. One of my biggest goals is I quit drinking 3 years ago, and after being raised in bars and playing in bars all my life, that was a big goal. And it's a great thing. Life is great without alcohol. So all I can do is try to encourage you to not drink. My favorite quote is from a friend of mine. It says, "You're only late the first time." And what he means by that is, it comes from his AA class, is that you're only late showing up to do the thing that you want to do. You're only late the first time. So I think you should really think about that in life. If you're thinking of doing something, don't let yourself talk yourself out of it. Don't let yourself talk yourself into it. Think about it. If you want to do it, do it. Just go ahead and do it. Thank you very much.